on this episode of A Tale of Two Hygienists.
So as hygienists, biofilm's the enemy. We finally have come to that. This is the enemy, root cause, all that stuff, right? But how do we detect it? A lot of times you can't see with the naked eye. If it's under a crown, you might be able to see it with certain technologies there. But if we're looking at biofilm on the tooth structure for hygiene purposes, for education, how do I know it's there? You wave this, magic wand in the mouth, and if it illuminates red, you know you got to go back in. If it doesn't illuminate red, then you got the biofilm. So now we don't have to disclose what chemical solution over and over. These firms will say, look, we got X amount of dollars to spend on tech that's going to work. What can we do? If we can get mobile dentistry, if we can get some of these community outreach programs to really start utilizing it for proof of concept in the States, that's my call to action is these communities, how do we get them? Let's make it happen in those communities.
Yeah, this is a tale, oh yeah, a tale of two hygienists. So there might be only one, bringing the best of dental knowledge, and we do it all with ease. We cover oral health and screening, and preventing gum disease. We're gonna do a lot of learning, and have a little bit of fun working at the dentist. A tale of two hygienists.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Tale of Two Hygienists podcast, episode number 498. I'm your host, Andrew Johnston, and thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate your time. You're going to be happy that you're here. So normally when I'm thinking about the titles of different episodes, a lot of them come to me pretty quick. Some of them are a little bit harder, and this one was one that was just, it wasn't necessarily difficult, but I had so many different directions that I wanted to take it. There were some witty things that we could have said. This conversation with Anjuli was basically about identifying the bacterial contributors for oral disease and what was the best way to do that. And so there's lots of snarky things that we could have said about the bacteria and things like that. But I think the one we went with was just pretty straightforward and tells you everything you need to know. So I think one of the key parts of this particular episode is the fact that, we're always discussing these identifying agents, whether it's disclosing tablets, disclosing agents that show how much time the plaque has been on the teeth and things of that nature. Every time we talk about these things, they're amazing tools, right? They're really good ones. I think a lot of patients understand them. It clearly gives us an opportunity for patient discussion and patient interaction, but there always also seems to be limiting factors. So whether it's too messy, whether it doesn't give us exactly the data that we're looking for, the things that we need exactly. And so in this episode, we talked about the new option that seems to be a little bit more patient and clinician friendly, but it could also give us more data, the data that we're actually looking for. So again, this is a great episode. I'm really excited about it. So thanks for being here. Now, coming up, we have several upcoming episodes recorded at RDH Under One Roof. If you missed it, it was another hoot and a half. It was just fantastic. I think there ended up being just shy of 2,500 people there. It was a huge event. Next year, it will be in Washington, D.C., so make sure you put that on your calendars for July of next year. But we recorded several episodes over there. Next week, we have an episode featuring Amanda Hale and Heather Kinney from the Functional Roots podcast. We also have after that our 500th episode, which I'm sure you guys all know this by now, but every Wednesday is the numbered episodes, and this is our 500th Wednesday episode, which, if I'm being fair about that episode, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Just a group of us got together at RDH Under One Roof. We didn't have anything planned. We were between sessions and we were just, shooting the breeze. And so it's really the kind of conversations that you're going to find at those types of trade shows, especially when you're amongst friends. And so we decided that we're going to give you a little bit of an insight for that one. So that one was really fun. And then after that one, we have another episode. There is this awesome new younger hygienist who has ventured out and basically conquered the social media platforms. But now she has new plans, and we can't actually talk about those plans on this episode because there's some things coming up. But the episode is really about how awesome hygienists are, how ambitious we are, how driven we are, and how capable we are. And so that one will be coming out later in August. And then we end the month with an episode featuring Dana Palladino, talking about how important it is to get to people before they get into the dental hygiene programs and how to prepare them for success, not only in dental hygiene, but thinking long-term about this is what the career looks like. I think it's a great thing that she's doing for these pre-students, I guess you'd call them, because for all the rest of us, it will only make sure that our future colleagues are that much better, are that much more prepared, that won't come in do a one and done. They're in for a year and then they quit the whole profession and they leave. So we have a great lineup this month. I'm really excited about it. Be sure to hit that follow button on Apple Podcasts or the subscribe button on other platforms so you don't miss a single one of these episodes. Thanks again for listening. And with that, enjoy this interview with Anjuli Avis.
A tale of two hygienists.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure
Okay,
hygiene
so
made me
you're
deaf in my
in
left
your
ear.
left ear. Okay. Listeners, we're jumping into this interview. Anjuli Avis is here again. Thank you for being here.
I'm so excited to be with you again.
Man,
Too
this
long.
is great. Yeah, no, too long. It's been
I
2
know.
whole months or whatever. I do want to talk about a few things, but can we talk about the big networking event that you put on in Tampa and how amazing that was?
Oh, well, I'm glad you thought it was amazing. It was.
Did you not think it was?
No, it was great. I don't want to say I'm shocked as to how well it went, but I was pleasantly surprised as
was
to
well
how
attended,
well
man.
it went. Yeah. It was such a good mix, I think.
Yeah.
We had DSO, private practice, vendors, hygienists.
Mhm.
That's the point, is to get the entire industry together. Hopefully to get
It just doesn't
some people
happen
who are
enough.
siloed, unsiloed, is that a word? And that's my whole thing is, right,
Yeah.
siloed clinicians. And I'm like, if we put them in a room, they can have some really good conversations. So,
Yeah.
and it was fun too. It was just a lot of fun. But
how do you know all those people though? Because I feel like if I would have put a call to action out and said, "Hey, Tampa people, I've been here for 4 years, so you should know who I am." I don't know. Like, how do you know all these people?
it has evolved. I've been in the industry a long, long time, but it's eventually like, hey, I know that person and they might be interested. Oh, I know that person and you know that person. And can I invite a friend? And then you meet that friend.
Thanks,
and then
by
you
the way.
connect. Yeah. No, I
I
know.
invited 2 people. I'm like, do we have room for these 2 people?
No, absolutely. And that's really what it is. I think I make it a point of connecting. There are groups of us we take it very seriously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by doing it very intensely, it pays off and then you can have fun with it. So
Can I ask you, this was a sponsored event. What do the sponsors really get out of this?
So I had that was my thought when I first was like, they're not really, there's no sales pitch.
Yeah.
There are no booths. There's nothing. And for the ones that did it, their response was, I would love to do that because now people are going to say, well, who are those? They say publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what the CEO with astronomers, I think that's bad publicity, but no. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
At the event, people were like, well, who's this sponsor?
Yeah.
Who's that sponsor? And they were looking it up on their phone, scanning the QR codes. And that's really, they're like, you know what? It's a small price to pay.
Yeah.
And now when I talk to them, they're like, hey, I had a couple people reach out and they're curious about what I do or my event. So, and one of them was Local Boy. So he got some jobs out of it because he's a photographer.
awesome.
He does videography.
Oh,
So
he did a
was,
good job,
yeah,
by the way.
Yeah.
The video at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that was really good. I also got a lot out of it. I have.
Which I'm so happy to hear.
We already aired the cybersecurity episode. So yeah, he was really great. And and I got really good feedback already from the episode. There's Tony, Stephanie. Hey, Tony.
The man.
Yeah. And so, and then I think maybe 1 or 2 more are still coming up. So
Good.
it was really helpful for me. I got a lot out of it for someone else paying for this thing that we could all network at.
Yeah.
And we gave you guys shout outs and stuff too on the episode. So hopefully that was good.
No.
But
I don't
know. I just don't know how to
super
repay you
excited about
guys
it.
for doing such a great job.
It's not a repayment. I just feel this is what I told our core group of people when I was like, hey guys, I hope everybody's okay with this, but I'm gonna blow this up, and they were all like, yeah, do it. And I don't think they realized that I was really gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I said, we all work so hard for this industry.
Mhm.
We really do. And it's about the people because, inevitably this person who works at this company might leave and go to this company. They're still the same person. They're
Yeah.
still going to be working
Yeah.
toward the same goals. So, it's not about repaying. It's about, hey, we're doing this together. This is an industry we're all working together.
Yeah.
So if something like this actually comes to fruition, why not just enjoy it? And there might be some great things that come out of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And what's interesting too is Tampa has a lot of amazing people. I mean, I'm sure
Huge.
lots of cities have lots of
Yeah.
great people.
Yeah.
But for being a mid-sized city or maybe even a smaller size of the city, but there's people from all parts of the industry in there, and that was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So all right.
enjoyable.
So networking important. Do it, everyone. That's kind of and it's fun, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys need any pointers, make sure you reach out. But that's not all we're here today. So what are we talking about today? First of all, let me set it up. Hold on, I got to set it up. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what happened, listeners. Anjuli doesn't get she is excited. She's an excitable person. She's a happy person, but she's never made claims like this thing is one of the most exciting things that I've ever, I just want to talk to you about this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. That's your lead in. So
Okay.
this better blow my mind.
Oh, man.
I
Okay.
don't know much about it.
Okay, that's all right. So this kind of came into my life earlier this year, and you're working towards different things. So the company is IOBio, but the technology is called Bliss, and it's biofluorescence. Now, we all have a good idea of what certain biofluorescence tools are.
Well, you say that, but then there's someone that's listening to this that actually doesn't. So let's back up just a little bit.
So it's light imaging that is bounced off the tooth, but it's usually green. So think of any of the instruments, tools you've seen where illuminating the tooth or the mouth and it looks green. You know, that's what it is. Everybody has seen that. But when you see a green field, you're like, I see green teeth, I see a green mouth. Like, this doesn't really do much for me. It's certainly not doing much for the patient.
Right.
The patient's like, what am I looking at? I don't know what the heck that is. So what they have done is a proprietary technology that filters that out. So now the teeth, the whole field, not just one tooth, which you can do, the whole mouth is ivory. It looks like your mouth.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the way it's filtered then bounces back bright red where there's biofilm. Okay.
Okay.
So as hygienists, biofilm's the enemy. We finally have come to that. This is the enemy, root cause, all that stuff, right? But how do we detect it? A lot of times you can't see it with the naked eye. If it's under a crown, you might be able to see it with certain technologies there. But if we're looking at biofilm on the tooth structure for hygiene purposes, for education, how do I know it's there?
Yeah.
It's invisible most of the time. So this technology, this high energy blue light is projected onto the tooth. And again, that proprietary filter makes everything look like you took a picture. So you can do white light or you can turn it on and see the actual biofilm. It's bright red. So it's internationally known. It's used very well internationally, but in the US, we're not using that. In my head, I'm thinking, why aren't we using this? They have a whole suite of products that can be used in office. But I think for me, the most exciting part, people are like, okay, what's exciting about this? You know, I talk about being siloed. So communities that are siloed. And technology is amazing. And I'm a huge into technology. But we still have communities because they are rural communities, low-income communities. They don't get access to the tech.
Yeah.
They don't get access to that. This technology will give everybody access to that tech.
Can we talk about the tech? So it's an audio podcast, so it's kind of hard to. But it looked to me like just now you're doing like almost like a camera. Like what is it? Is this a camera attachment? Is this actually on a camera by itself?
It's a camera by
It's not
itself.
glasses. It's not. Okay.
No. So you have all the way up to the camera that is in the office that captures the image. Again, you can use it as real-time white light, or then you can turn on biofluorescence. All the way down to it's not a camera, but it illuminates. It's a mouthpiece that illuminates.
Okay.
So if you're at home, say you're in ortho, how many times do you really want to go to the office to see, hey, am I doing a good job? Nobody needs to do that. Rural community, again, they're using telemedicine. How are you going to educate? Are you going to have them come into the office? We just know that doesn't happen. That's why they're in outreach programs. So there are a lot of applications here. For me as a hygienist, the one that you use like chair side is a pen. So after I'm doing SRP or scaling it from any procedure, I want to know, did I get it?
Yeah.
What did we do? We took an X-ray. Did I get the calculus? But again, what did we know? Calculus is not the problem.
It's not just calculus.
It's the biofilm.
Yeah.
So how do I know I got it? You wave this, I hate to say magic wand in the mouth, and if it illuminates red, you know you got to go back in. If it doesn't illuminate red, then you got the biofilm. So now we don't have to disclose what chemical solution over and over.
Yeah.
Which now we're having a lot of patients that are saying, hey, I don't want red dye.
Yeah.
So again, it's all about creating these options for our patients, ease, comfort on our end, and having that peace of mind that I did what I set out to do. And also technology that's available to communities that can't come into the office.
Okay, let me process all of this for a minute, because I know you kind of ended on the, we can't be disclosing agents and things like that, which I think that would be like the low-hanging fruit that people would ask, like, hey, well, why can't we just do this? Because that is kind of what we do. But I guess in the workflow, when I think about it, it's like we disclose first and last and not really in between, or first and last. And then when we notice that there was a spot that we missed, we'll go touch that one spot up, but then we never check it again like we should, right? So what you're saying is like you could just turn, I mean, it's just flicking a light on and off. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So
it's literally like in the shape of a pen that you insert into the mouth, scan. Is it red? Is it not red? Awesome.
Can I ask maybe a touchy question?
Okay.
Is this like a subscription model situation?
No, it's
just
a
like
unit.
You just buy the unit
purchase
and
the
you're
unit.
good to go.
Yeah, and I hate like sounding like, oh, you just purchase it, but that's how it works. If as a hygienist, I own the units. Like I have the units because I was like, this is amazing.
Are they for retail already in the States or not quite yet? So
yep.
why?
AO Bio USA.
So why haven't they taken off yet?
It's very hard to go to market with these things. They're big internationally, but they're a growing company on this side, and they need, education. Doesn't matter if you're the general public or a patient or clinicians. There's a lot that goes into the education, and so there's a group of us, and then we're working on that, trying to make this more, just put it out there so people know. And I think as a hygienist, most hygienists will look and be like, wow, this is really pretty awesome, but it has applications everywhere.
Can I tell you what my application would be? And this is such a snarky Andrew remark. It would be, doctor comes in and say, hey, you missed a spot. I'd be like, no, let's look again. Yeah. Let me show you with the pen that I didn't actually miss that spot, that your eyeballs are bad, and that you just need to fix yourself.
Yeah.
No, I would never do that to my doctor.
I would.
I might actually. Do we have price points yet for the different units?
We do have price points.
Because what we're saying on this episode is like, hey, hygienists kind of need to own the space. Don't wait for the doctor to buy it. It's something that you probably need to do, whether, again, you're going to be in, the rural areas, we're going to do in community health, whether you're going to be FQHC, whatever you're doing, like this is an opportunity for you to own this part of your space. So what does that outlay of cost look like?
The range?
Like?
What does it range?
Yeah.
Anywhere from $250 to like what the unit, $200 to $250, the unit that is mobile, that you don't need. It doesn't take, it's not a camera, but it will illuminate, it will show you biofluorescence all the way up to $1,500. It depends on where you want to use it and how you want to use it.
So tell me, go through like, just because I'm more of a price point kind of a hygienist, what's the virtue of the more expensive ones? Like what features do you get added on?
So the two higher price points, you're going to get the capture, the actual camera with the software.
Yeah.
And currently they are working with Oryx and Open Dental. Dentrix is right around the corner. So that's why it's more expensive, because you're getting software and the capture. Whereas the two lower priced ones, those are for just illuminating.
Just to be able to do the
education,
job. And,
exactly. And the one that's the least is the one that's mobile. It goes to the patient. It belongs to the patient.
So the ones that just do the illumination part, again, I'm just imagining that, the patient's holding their mirror and you're shining light and trying to show them, which is good. It's fine. It does kind of tedious though, because sometimes they can't see at that angle or whatever, all that stuff.
We usually do upright.
Oh, but even then, right, you can't see like all the spots that you need to show the patient. So the capture technology, is that something that you can then also send the patient?
Mm-hmm.
How does
it goes through the PMS?
Okay.
So once it activates through the PMS, you can send it through, however you attach your encrypted data from the PMS. But it's called Linked Dens, which is their software. You can send it through the software too.
Nice.
So there are options.
So if I'm a dad of an unruly child that doesn't like to brush,
that's the whole point.
Let's see where you're at, buddy. Let's do this,
exactly.
And then and it'd be kind of nice actually too. All you protective parents out there who think that your child does no wrong, you take this thing home and you take your own imaging of your kid and then be like, hey, see, like little Johnny over here actually is doing a good job during the week. I don't know why he didn't show up to his appointment with, good hygiene or whatever.
It's for the applications I've seen is like not every patient's going to have one of these. It's going to be great for nursing homes.
Yeah.
Special needs home, all of those where we're struggling. How can we help? Those I feel like is a great place to start. Again, with ortho, we're already wanting to monitor them remotely.
Yeah.
So why are we going to bring them in for hygiene if we can offer them this element?
Yeah.
And then mom says, oh, yeah, that's why he's got a cavity.
But the question I had was more like, it's more of a comment, I guess. Like we have people that go into the nursing homes and they give in service to like the nursing profession, some of the PAs and all the different things. This actually would be a really good tool for them, because I feel like when we go in there and we say, hey, you need to brush and floss, and here's a really cool toothbrush to use, or hey, they have limited dexterity, so you got to do this one thing. I don't want to say it falls on deaf ears, but it's just like it's not exactly what we think it's going to end up being.
And they're not going to disclose They're not going to disclose them. That's too messy.
They're definitely not going to.
There's absolutely no way they would do that.
Anyway, so this is interesting. So what's the next step? What are we having our audience do?
So
do you just have like webinars and stuff? Like, do you have like?
Yep.
I think people want to see it though, like firsthand.
Yep. The best thing they can do is to go to iobio.com.
Yeah.
And look up biofluorescence, Bliss technology. Look at it. If you go to my, check out Instagram, I can connect you, and you actually can get a discount through me because I just believe in it so much. Like, why are we not using this?
Yeah.
We have some products that have been great up until now. They do scale, they do density, but on a larger scale, the whole mouth, if the doctor can say, this is the path you're on, let's start here. The patient sees for themselves where the journey that they're going to go on. I just think that is so much better. Root cause disease.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I like solutions like this, folks. Just so we're very transparent, this is not a sponsored episode. This is just two hygienists that just like really believe in trying to put things into your hand that's really going to work. I'm very grateful that you're here sharing this knowledge. What question didn't I ask that you were hoping that I would have asked, or what do we still need to cover?
So the one thing that I will say is we touched on it a little bit, but how do we get this into the hands of community health and mobile dentistry? Specifically that. Again, we touched on it, but not as extensively. And I think if we can, and everybody's looking for funding, everybody's looking for that, but there are things that people will say, these firms will say, look, we got X amount of dollars to spend on tech that's going to work. What can we do?
Yeah.
If we can get mobile dentistry, if we can get some of these community outreach programs to really start utilizing it for proof of concept in the States.
Sure.
That's my call to action is let's make it happen in those communities.
So if the listener doesn't actually work in that community, but you have a friend that does, like share this information, share this episode, let them know. They have the website they can go to as well. Buddy, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's fun. And I'll see you at the next Tampa Happy Hour.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, this is a tale, oh yeah, a tale of two hygienists. So there might be only one, bringing the best of dental knowledge, and we do it all with ease. We cover oral health and screening, and preventing gum disease. We're gonna do a lot of learning, and have a little bit of fun working at the dentist. A tale of two hygienists.